Hi, welcome back if you're a returning viewer, and welcome if you're a new viewer. I'm Shauna from Southern Idaho, and this is a knitting, crocheting, sewing, crafting video. And once in a while I'll take you on a little tour at the end of the video around where I live and whatever else I can find. I have started putting my Christmas tree up, but it's a small tree. It's only three or 4 feet, and it's just a white tree, and I only have the lights on it yet, so it's not very pretty yet. But I will get you a picture of that when I get it all done. And I'm a little slow at getting it up because I am actually on the committee that does our Christmas party for the church, and that kind of took over my life for a little while. So I got started on my tree Saturday, and I just got preoccupied with knitting and crocheting, and I did some cooking, made potato salad, and just didn't get it up. So there we are. So today I have some knitting and some crocheting, some Christmas cards, and I think that's it. Yep, I think that, and some gifts. So in my church, we have ladies that come visit us every month and keep in touch with us to see how we're doing. And I have some ladies I visit, and a couple of my ladies brought me some gifts, and I'll show you those too. So I'm going to start out with the knitting. So I think I showed you my sock that I finished, and it fits great, by the way. I love it. And I'm on the second one. And the pattern I am using is the Simple Top-Down Sock by Ellie Jones. And Ellie is from Craft House Magic, and she's so fun to watch. And there will be links to all the things I talk about today on my blog, and there will be a link to my blog down below. So I showed you the one that I have finished, and here is the one I have started. And if you can see, well, it's kind of hard to see yet. Maybe this side is a little better. I have just started doing the knitting all the way around, and I'm past the ribbing. And I am using, I'm using size 2.5 needles, and I'm so excited. One of my new friends from YouTube, who we've become really good friends on Instagram and YouTube, she sent me some stuff and saved me, because these are some of the needles she sent me, and I just love them. And I am using Croy sock yarn. This is what I'm using for the the toes and the cuffs, and this is Patton's Croy sock yarn, 75% merino, 25% nylon, and it's a super wash, and it's a really sturdy yarn. It's a little bit, not too rough, but it is tiny bit, but just enough that I think it'll probably wear really well, which I'm excited about. And the other color is brown, rose, and marl. And they're both the Croy sock yarn, and I'm really liking working with them. And as I said, I'm using 2.5 needles, and it's really nice and squishy. And I'm just going to love those when they're done. And then I have yarn to start another pair, which I'm so excited about. I have 2 or 3 different yarns to do another pair, and I just don't know which ones I'm going to start. But that will be exciting. The other knitting thing I have is one of my sons has a dachshund or little wiener dog, and the pattern I'm using is a pattern by Lucky Fox Knits, and I think her name is Valia Bortoco. I can't say it. Anyway, you can see right there, Lucky Fox Knits, if that will come in. which it's not thinking about it yet. There we go. Well, you can kind of see it. Anyway, it's this little sweater here. And the yarn I'm using is some yarn I got at a secondhand store. And it's a really old yarn. It's a wind tuck yarn, which they don't make anymore. It's machine wash and dryable. It's a baby yarn. And if you can see, it's pretty skinny. In fact, if I was to pull my sock yarn out, I think they're close to the similar size there. But the sock yarn might be a tiny bit smaller. Anyway, this is machine wash and dryable, resist pilling, moth proof. It's a pull skein, non-allergenic. I don't know what 3-fold is. Net weight 2 ounces. 100% Orlon acrylic. And it's in the French blue colorway. But if you notice on the tag here, there's no yarn size. But I like it. It'll be a nice little coat for him. And this is where I'm at. So that's his little, that's where his legs will be. So that's, yikes. So that's the bottom. His little head will be here, his little neck and his head. And I'm getting down here, and pretty soon I'm almost to the point where I'm going to cast off and just knit back and forth so it goes down over his little back. And then I'll come back up here and put ribbing for his neck. And then I will go to the little leg holes here and put, you know, about that much ribbing for his little legs. If you notice on the pattern, which you might not have, there's ribbing that goes down the leg just a little bit and then further down the back. And the little dog I'm making it for is a boy, so I won't be, that's when you cast off down here and just knit back and forth so we don't cover certain parts so that he will pee on it. We don't want him to do that. That's one of the projects I'm on. I think that's my only 2 knitting projects right now. I mean, I have others, but I haven't done much on them, so there's not much to see. And there's one I really want to get back to, and that is my shawl, and I haven't worked on it at all. So the next thing I'm going to do is crocheting. This is some of my recent crocheting. So I've made a couple of hats, and I don't know if you can see that. It's a crocheted spiral beanie. I wonder if there's a certain way you have to tip this to make it. There we go. It's a crocheted spiral beanie. And as you can see on there, it's a free pattern. So I have a link to that. It's a free pattern you can get. I'm using a G hook, 6-point. It's a G hook size 6. It's a 4.25 millimeter, and I'm using worsted weight yarn. And this is one of the hats, and you can see I haven't sewn in the end yet. And I want to get some faux fur poms to go on the top. And if you open it up, it turns out to have a really pretty spirally pattern, which I think turned out really pretty. And this is a Red Heart yarn in the buff flecked colorway, and this is a brown, and it's hard to see, but it so with the G hook and the worsted weight yarn, this works out to be a hat that fits a small adult. If I went up a needle size, it would probably be more of a medium-sized hat. And I'm really liking the pattern. It's really clear, really easy to understand. And the pattern is Susie at Loganberry Handmade. And I'll have a link to that on my blog. And I have another one that I made out of a really, really bright pink yarn. And I used the G hook on this too. And this is a bright pink yarn from Red Heart, and I don't have the tag anymore, so I don't know what color that is. But you can see it's really bright pink. And this down here, this is a really pretty sparkly yarn that I'm using. It's a worsted weight as well. And it is Karen's Simply Soft Party. It's a 99% acrylic, 1% metallic, 3 ounces, 85 grams, 164 yards. It's a number 4, uses 5mm size 8 knitting needles or 5mm H8 crochet hook, and machine wash and dryable. And it is the, where's the colorway? Oh, there, I was covering the colorway, sorry. It's in the colorway Platinum Sparkle. And you can see it's a really, really sparkly, sparkly yarn. I'd say that's more true to color right there, because it's kind of a medium dark gray. But I think it's really pretty and I like it. The next thing I have that I worked on for a long time, and this is, oh, I have a snag on my fingernail that keeps catching everything. Oh gosh, that's not good. I hate it when I get snags on my fingernails. You probably never have that happen. I do. So the next thing I'm working on is oh, let's see if I can do this better. There we go. It's a two-sided baby Afghan by Janet David, and it's a free pattern. Oh, I did forget to tell you. I better tell you. This little pattern here for the doggy coat, it is a paid-for pattern on Etsy, but I do have a link to it in my blog, and I'm really liking it. It's working up really nice. So back to the two-sided Afghan. I am using a size, I don't know, I use a G hook a lot. It seems to be my favorite size. It's just, I'm just using one of these. It's just a G hook by Boy, I think it is. It's G size 6 or 4.25 millimeter. I use it on worsted weight yarn all the time. So on those hats, if I want to make them bigger, I'm going to have to go up a needle size, but that's about all. On this Afghan, I am using Karen's Simply Soft. 5 ounces, 141 grams, approximately 250 yards. And I think I'm on about my 4th skein, 100% acrylic. Number 4 calls for a US 8 5mm or a US H8 hook, 5mm crochet hook. It's machine wash and dryable. This is Gray Heather, and I'm using also the soft pink in that. And it's actually kind of like making 2 lacy Afghans and putting them together. And it's a 4-row pattern repeat, so once you get the hang of it, I do mark on my pattern where I'm at so that I don't have to figure it out each time I come back. I just mark a little line showing which row I'm on. because it actually has you repeat 2 rows, but where you have 2 different colors you're using, so it's really a 2-row repeat, but where you're using the 2 different colors. So the first 2 rows are actually the stitch, and the second 2 rows help you blend in, bring in the second color, so that you're rotating them in order. So this is one side of it. And this is the other side. And of course, if you've ever worked with Caron Simply Soft, you know it's simply soft. But the only thing bad about working with Caron Simply Soft, where it's such a soft yarn, it does have a tendency to split while you're crocheting with it a little bit, which kind of, I don't know, I think it kind of slows me down a little. But I'm just enjoying doing it, because even though I have to mark where I'm at on the pattern, it's still pretty mindless, and it's getting pretty big. I can't wait. I'm getting to the point where I can't wait to get it finished. So it's getting pretty big. The other thing, one of the friends I've met since doing this YouTube channel and my Etsy store and Instagram, one of my friends sent me a really nice Christmas card. That was such a surprise. I love it. And thank you. You know who you are. And my niece also sent me a Christmas card. She does every year. She is so good, and I've got to get better at sending Christmas cards out. But my niece, Trudy, she sends me a Christmas card quite often. I think that's really sweet of her. She's a sweetheart. The other thing is the 2 ladies I told you about that visit me from my church. When they came over, the one lady, and I'm going to fold that back, the one lady made me this really pretty hot pad and brought me a towel to go with it. And I think that turned out really pretty. She does really nice work. And it feels like it's a cotton yarn, so that will be really nice. I like that. And I'll probably just use it year round because I like it. And of course they brought me jam. It's pear and raspberry jam. So that will be fun to eat. Like that. And they always bring me a bag of candy too. Oh my gosh, I ate some of that. I've been kind of a little sick this weekend, but that's not because of the candy. I don't know, I just maybe had a little bit of stomach flu, but I'm doing better. Not great, but better. And I will probably sign off now, and I will see you next time. I hope you subscribe and like and share, and come back again next time. You can find me on Instagram at Sewwebbofyarn, of course on YouTube at Sewwebbofyarn. I have a blog, which there will be a link down in the description box to that. And I am on Twitter, and I'm not sure who I am on Twitter. I'll have to look that one up and link it on my blog, because I'm not sure. And I also have an Etsy store at Sewwebbofyarn, so check that out. And I will talk to you hopefully again really soon. I'm trying to get better at this. So bye. See you later.